For 22 years, he was the most dangerous spy in American history. He didn't just sell secrets, he sold the end of the world.
February 18, 2001, a quiet Sunday morning in Virginia, a silver car pulls up to a suburban park. It looks innocent.
The man stepping out looks like a grandfather, a boring accountant in a cheap suit, a man you would never look at twice. He walks stiffly to a wooden footbridge. He tucks a plastic garbage bag underneath it. He thinks he is entirely alone. Suddenly, the silence explodes. Black vans screech in. Dozens of FBI agents swarm him from the trees.
He doesn't run. He just looks at his former colleagues and asks one chilling question. What took you so long?
This is Robert Hanssen, a father of 6, a devout churchgoer, and a top-level FBI counterintelligence agent. For 22 years, he was the most dangerous spy in American history. He didn't just sell secrets, he sold the end of the world.
To catch a monster, you look for claws. But he was invisible inside the FBI. His nickname was the Mortician.
Because he was dull, dark, depressing. He wore cheap suits, drove a beat-up Escort, and had absolutely zero friends.
He went to Mass every single morning at 6:30 a.m. To his neighbors, he was a saint, a quiet man of God.
He compartmentalized his life. He believed he was smarter than everyone else. He wanted to prove he could beat the system. He didn't spy for ideology. He didn't even really do it for the money. He did it for the sheer ego of it. While his colleagues were hunting Russian spies, Hanssen was secretly laughing at them. Because he was the Russian spy. His dark side ran deep. He secretly filmed sex tapes of his own wife. He spent thousands on a DC stripper. He tried to convert the stripper to Catholicism while showering her with stolen diamonds. He was a walking contradiction.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And the FBI didn't have a clue who was sitting right there in the corner office.
But the most terrifying part isn't his psychology. It's what he stole. The betrayal started in 1979.
Hanssen didn't wait to be recruited. He walked right up to the Soviets and offered them the crown jewels.
His first gift was a name, General Dmitry Polyakov, the CIA's most valuable asset inside the Russian military high command.
Polyakov was a hero helping prevent World War III. Because of Hanssen, he was arrested, brutally tortured, and interrogated. He was executed with a bullet to the back of the head. Hanssen didn't blink when he heard the news.
He took his first payment, about $20,000, and went home to have a quiet dinner with his wife and 6 children.
He realized then that selling souls was easy, and thanks to his job, he had access to an endless supply of them. Hanssen had the master key. He was an expert in FBI computer systems before anyone else in the Bureau understood them. He could see every active investigation. He knew who the FBI was tracking. He knew exactly where the bugs were planted.
When the FBI built a multi-million-dollar tunnel under the Soviet embassy to listen in, Hanssen told the Russians immediately.
The Soviets knew about the tunnel from day one. They fed the FBI fake information for years. It was a total humiliation.
He betrayed dozens of human sources. 2 were executed. Others were imprisoned. He destroyed entire intelligence networks.
But selling people wasn't enough. Hanssen wanted to feel like a god, so he decided to sell the apocalypse.
He stole the plans for continuity of government. This was the highly classified playbook for surviving World War III. It detailed exactly where the president would hide during a nuclear attack, and how the US military would strike.
Hanssen photocopied the entire thing. He put it in a garbage bag, and he gave it to the KGB.
Think about that. He gave the enemy the exact map of how to win a nuclear war against his own country.
If the Cold War had turned hot, millions of American families, including his own, would have died because of him.
In exchange, he got diamonds, Rolex watches, and stacks of cash. He buried most of the money in his backyard.
But he barely spent it. He didn't want the lavish lifestyle. He just wanted the scoreboard. He wanted to know he was winning.
He developed a perfect system. No meetings, just dead drops. A piece of medical tape on a park sign meant, "I have a gift." For 20 years, he was a ghost. The Russians didn't even know his real name. They just called him Ramon.
Even when the Soviet Union collapsed, Hanssen didn't stop. He just started selling secrets to the new Russia.
The FBI knew they were bleeding. Agents were dying. Operations were blowing up. But they were looking in the wrong place. They were arrogant. They were convinced the mole was in the CIA. They destroyed the careers of innocent men trying to find him.
In 2000, they got desperate. The FBI paid a former KGB officer $7 million to steal the Russian file on Ramon.
They expected a Russian name inside. Instead, they found a fingerprint on a trash bag and a cassette recording.
When they played the tape, the room went ice cold. They knew that voice. It wasn't a stranger.
One analyst whispered, "Oh my God, it's Bob!" The boring man sitting just down the hall.
They needed to catch him in the act. They gave him a fake promotion to a new job at headquarters to isolate him.
They assigned a young assistant, Eric O'Neill. His only job? Watch Hanssen. Every single second.
It was the smoking gun. The device confirmed the date and time of the next dead drop, February 18th.
The trap was set. 300 agents surrounded Foxstone Park. They waited for the ghost to appear one last time.
Hanssen arrived. He sensed something was wrong, but his massive ego pushed him forward. He had to complete the mission. He walked to the bridge. He dropped the bag, and his 22-year career of betrayal ended in a heartbeat. When they arrested him, he didn't ask for a lawyer. He just arrogantly asked, "What took you so long?" To avoid the death penalty, Hanssen pleaded guilty. He was sent to ADX Florence, the Alcatraz of the Rockies. He spent the rest of his life in a concrete box, 23 hours a day in solitary confinement.
His family lost everything. His wife, Bonnie, discovered her pension was gone. The diamonds she thought were gifts were evidence.
But psychologists say Hanssen didn't hate prison. In a twisted way, he actually enjoyed it.
Why? Because he was finally famous. He was the greatest spy, the worst traitor. He was important.
Robert Hanssen was found dead in his cell in June 2023. He took many of his secrets to the grave.
But the damage he did changed the world. He forced the FBI to completely rebuild their internal security from scratch.
Because of him, insider threat became the biggest fear of every intelligence agency on Earth.
Here is the final, disturbing truth. Hanssen wasn't a mastermind genius spy like in the movies. He was just a mediocre, boring man who realized that the door to the vault had been left unlocked. He proved that evil doesn't look like a monster. It looks like your neighbor. It looks like your coworker.
The next Robert Hanssen is probably out there right now, sitting in a boring meeting, planning the end of the world.
Trust no one. Thanks for watching.